Well, Aussie women with an aggressive form of breast cancer have been given a boost of hope this morning after the results of a worldwide drug trial showed significant improvements for women with high-risk, early, triple-negative breast cancer.
Sold as Keytruda, the drug stimulates the body's immune system to fight cancer cells and has been called the lifesaver by those involved in the trial. For more, let's bring in Sunrise GP, Dr. Jenny Mansberg, and Nama Carlin, who was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer while she was 29 weeks pregnant. Jenny, first to you. This drug has been used in Australia to treat other forms of cancer. What's the significance for breast cancer in these results?
So you know how with all cancers the treatments tend to be chemotherapy, surgery, radiotherapy. With breast cancer, we tend to take a little sample because in 85% of cases, the cells actually wear a little hat that tells the researchers that in fact that there's a chemical roving in the body that turbocharges the cancer's growth, and that allows us to give us an extra weapon against that cancer. In the 15% of women who tend to be younger, who don't have any of those hats, unfortunately, the prognosis is worse because we don't have that extra treatment arm. On top of that, it tends to be a little bit sneaky in avoiding the immune system, so the cancer can hide in plain sight and actually avoid your own body's way of going, hey, that's an alien I don't want in there. This is an immune system medication that actually triggers the immune system to go fight this thing. And the results, the new results for this medication, for this specific group of patients was really impressive. We're talking about 5-year survival rates that went from about 81.5% to 87.5%. Now, that doesn't sound like massive difference, but if you're one of those people, that's really huge.
OK, so Nama, you had to crowdfund more than $60,000 to be treated with this drug because it wasn't on the PBS for this specific form of cancer. That must have been as frustrating as all hell.
Yeah, it was not something that I ever expected to do in the medical system in Australia. And I had just given birth. I was pregnant when I was diagnosed with cancer, and I was undergoing treatment when I was pregnant. And so when I first had my child, my first appointment with my oncologist, I heard about the medication. She recommended it, but it wasn't on the PBS. And the pharmaceutical company's price for it, which was sort of a discounted or rate, was at $62,000. Yeah, so it was something that I never expected to do. To crowdfund for healthcare.
And during a harrowing time that's hard enough anyway, and then the idea of it becoming this economic issue, you've actually campaigned, haven't you, to get the drug on the PBS. How important is it to get these drugs subsidised by the PBS for cancer patients?
It's incredibly important, and I want to just shout out Breast Cancer Network of Australia, who have done a lot of advocacy and lobbying and who have actually contacted me when I was diagnosed and provided the opportunity for me to write a patient impact statement to submit to the pharmaceutical company. And as Dr. Ginny identified, triple-negative breast cancer it's a relatively rare form of breast cancer, and it affects younger women, not just women, but younger women in particular. We are often in precarious employment. We have less super, we have less property, we don't have property to sell. So our financial situation is quite precarious. The fact that it was approved on as part of the treatment regimen in the USA and in the UK 2 years before Australia, to me was astounding. It meant that many women here in Australia had to crowdfund for their breast cancer treatment, and it's an incredible cost. It's draining. Not everyone has the privilege that I had, which I had a big online network that people donated money to, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity, but it shouldn't be the reality of treatment in Australia. People shouldn't fundraise to get treatment.
Yeah, but now it is. Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing your story too, because this is going to help a lot of women, and we're very glad that this extra drug is on there that boosts the immune system. Ginny, thanks for explaining it.